Let's go.
All right, you're tuned into Bare Knuckle Bowker. You know who this lad is. He's the interim BKFC welterweight champion and quite the incredible performance, a generational performance, some might call it, just considering the caliber opponent he was fighting in Connor Tierney. A great win at BKFC 90 and great having Rico Franco on Bare Knuckle Bowker to talk a bit about that and cover some other topics also. But first off, just curious how you're doing, Rico.
Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. Great win 3 weeks ago against a very good opponent. We got the job done, and yeah, it's a lot of hard work paid off, and I'm just happy how the performance went. So I'm feeling great.
Yeah, puts you in a great spot for sure. And just, I mean, there's so many, I guess, aspects of even just this particular fight. Like, I felt like you authored quite an impressive performance because I felt like the dynamic of how your first fight played out, it was such like a quick finish for you. I feel like some people look at rematches through the certain lens of like, I wonder if it's going to be like a mental piece for him in terms of like, superseding that performance or something of that persuasion. But you almost authored a more emphatic performance in a way, just five different knockdowns. Can you kind of speak to the quality of the performance you authored in that fight there?
Yeah, so obviously the first fight 7 years ago was a quick knockout. I was planning on knocking him out with that same shot as well because I had a bit of an injury, and I visualized the shot and it landed. And obviously, you know, he was just saying it was a quick knockout. I didn't get into the fight, which it is what it is. It was a good knockout, but my goal for this one, my boxing's improved massively, and a lot of people just see me as a very tough fighter, just loves a scrap, but I can actually box as well, and me boxing has come on massively, especially me coach Dex Bellman. We've been working the boxing, sparring some good pros, been putting things into practice, being a bit more patient, not rushing in. I just thought I'd put that to the test, and I wanted to really. I love boxing boxers, and obviously Connor Tierney is a good boxer, and I've been sparring some very good pros. You know, the same size as Connor as well. So my goal for this fight was to box him and obviously put the pressure on with loads of feints, loads of level changes, and the the shot that I was trying to land the most, you've probably seen it quite a bit, the slip backhand. Obviously, the first knockdown, it wasn't as clean on the first, but the second one was the cleanest. And then again on the fourth, I think it was. And the fifth was just a big overhand. But yeah, every shot I landed, I was just visualizing, practicing all the time, and everything that happened was just perfection.
Yeah, no, just incredible stuff because I feel like both yourself and Connor had grown so much since that first fight, and both of you captured your respective, I guess, like regional BKFC hardware pieces before this interim title fight. So yeah, just really incredible stuff and seemed like a big night overall. Like I saw Sports Illustrated was referring to you and Darren Till as teammates. I guess he was gleaning some info from you ahead of his bare knuckle debut. It seems like he authored a great performance as well.
Definitely, yeah. We had a we had a good 2 week camp in Cyprus with Darren. He brought us out there, and we got to be a part of his team as well. And amazing, unbelievable experience getting to train with Darren and his coach and his team. Amazing people, and he's offered to do it again. So after this fight, so we'll probably go over again to Cyprus and get trained again. But just being around proper fighters all the time and just training, just living it every day. So yeah, that was a great experience, and obviously Darren put on a great performance, and that was his debut as well. Obviously, after he got out of that first round, he realised, yeah, I need to switch on in the first round. Like, I told him before, I said, you need, like, this bare knuckle, you've got to just switch on straight away, like, because one shot can just change the game. And obviously, he got caught with a little shot, he just switched off. Second round, he come in and he just like, yeah, I'm switching on now. Boom, he just landed that shot and finished it. So, two really good performances, which were good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it seems like you're both set up for really big opportunities. I mean, a lot of people are talking about maybe that Mike Perry long awaited fight being something on the table for Till. And not that something like that would be off the table for you, but you would think just being the interim champion, that fighting the lineal title holder, Dustin Pague, would be the next thing. So just to serve the idea that both of you guys would probably be, honing skills and working towards respective big opportunities in that next camp there. So love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Mike Perry would be a massive fight for Darren Till, and Perry's like the face of BKFC, so that makes sense. Everyone wants to tune and watch that. They've had a lot of back and forth over the years. I think everyone wants to fight Perry just for the payday. I'd love to fight him for the payday. I'd go up a weight class, and um, everyone. Mike Perry is the face. End of the day, he's tough as nails. So, yeah, that'd be a great fight, and obviously it would be good to get it all on the same card. Me versus Dustin. But obviously, Darren, he's not going to fight Perry next. He'll be fighting another big name, but I'm not sure who yet. And that'll be in September. So hopefully we can bring Pague over to Manchester or anywhere in the UK, and we'll have a massive fight over here. That would be great.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, there'd be scenes going on there for sure. But yeah, I mean, some big opportunities. Like I saw they were batting around, maybe doing like a Yoel Romero, Darren Till fight as well. So yeah, just different options out there. But something that I really like about you too, I feel like you have such like respect among your peers and like former opponents. Like I'd actually spoken to LT Nelson before a recent fight of his, former opponent of yours, and he was touting you as a gangster, and he was excited for this fight that you had coming up with Tierney here. And yeah, he seemed like he was confident that you were going to get it done as well, and just really touted your skills. So just, yeah, love to see that dynamic for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's all business. At the end of the day, there's no, people can take things personal and stuff, and there's a lot of history of me and Connor Tierney, but for me, is getting smashed, and it's all mindset going into there. But I've got no hate towards anybody. It's just business for me. And yeah, and but there's some really good people in this game, good fighters, and Dustin Pague, he's a proper fighter. He gave me a message after the fight, being really respectful. So it'll be a pleasure. He's unbeaten still. One day you never know. I'd love to rematch him. So things. I know we're on different promotions, but that would be my goal to fight LT one day because he's on a running streak. Great fighter. I'd love to do it on BKFC, to be honest, not in that triangle. But who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, I mean, so many different opportunities and stuff like that. So yeah, and cool that Dustin gave you that message after the fight. He's someone who I also kind of think of in that similar type of context, like just someone who's like respectful to, their peers and stuff like that. I feel like there won't be a lot of trash talk and controversial, comments in that one, but it seemed like there was also a respect thread in your Austin Trout fight that you had, to be fair. And he's got a big one coming up, like trying to become a two division champion in BKFC. Do you ultimately see him rather accomplishing that against Ben Bonner in their vacant lightweight title fight coming up here?
Yeah, it's a very interesting fight. Obviously, I'm going to be Team Bonner because I'm obviously I'm a UK guy, but I love Austin Trout. I'm a massive fan of Austin. Listen, he's a very high level fighter, and he's going to be very tricky to get hold of. Again, that's another fight I'd love to take for a rematch one day. I can make 155 as well, so you never know what the future holds. I can go down and win that belt again. But yeah, for me, that's a good fight. I think Trout's going to be hard to get hold of, but Ben's got to get stuck in, get involved. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight. I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, it just feels like you're set up in such a great position. Like you've already put together a great legacy. But I remember the first time we were talking, you were mentioning how you really want to like author one of like those greatest of all time kind of careers. And you were saying ahead of the Trout fight, if you won the welterweight title, you could, put yourself in that kind of conversation. But even what we're talking about with like multiple, lineal title aspirations, different divisions, like the LT fight, it just seems like you're open to so many possibilities to even fill out that kind of resume that much further. Like I said, you already have a deep ledger now, but it seems like you're in prime position to do some cool things. It seems like an exciting time to be Rico Franco.
Yes, 100%. I've had 14 pro bare knuckle fights now, and I'd love to get to the 20 marker. That's so another six fights, but all these fights now are going to be very tough at the high level. So we'll see if we can make it work like the last fight. If I have six fights like that, I'm laughing. But if I fight like the one against with Jimmy, it's just a 6 round war. There's not many fights you can do like that. So it all depends. But I just want big fights, and I want to get the biggest paydays we can do, and that's all it's about. It's getting that money in for my family, getting the biggest paydays. But obviously, for me, it's securing that legacy. I want to be known as one of the greatest bare knuckle boxers of all time, and I believe I'm up there now.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And yeah, great mentioning the Jimmy piece. I felt like that was such like a big legacy piece as well, just having that trilogy and coming out on the winning end of that. And I guess tied within all of that, like the BKFC Italy press conference and meeting, Conor McGregor there and stuff like that. Like, what are your thoughts on his comeback effort in the Max Holloway rematch here? That would seem like an exciting fight and an intriguing one, at the very least, going to garner a lot of attention, certainly.
Yeah, it's amazing to have Conor McGregor obviously in BKFC sharing his positive energy. It's great to have him involved. But yeah, it's going to be good to see him back. I'm glad he's coming back in the game. I think people like Conor needs it. All us fighters need a focus because if we ain't got fighting, there's not much we aren't got because that's all we know. It's all I know. If I didn't fight, obviously, luckily I've got a gym now, but it would probably send me off the rails and I'd be going insane. I'd be trying to find things to do. So obviously having that focus in training definitely the best thing for Conor McGregor, and he's looking in good shape. He's put his head down. He's put in the work. So it's going to be a very good fight against Max. Max is a beast. I'm also a good fan. But obviously Team McGregor. Hopefully he's going to get the job done. Big knockout.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, I love that you have like the gym culture that you foster too. Like, I did want to kind of touch upon that because I think there's something to that. Like, obviously, what you do under the bright lights is, very impressive. And, people like me want to do interviews with you and talk about it. But as someone who like has even trained in like kind of a hobbyist kind of way, it's like having a gym culture can make just, so many differences to people, even if they're not endeavoring to be a pro fighter, just as like a lifestyle physical health, mental health kind of piece. And it just gives that sense of community as well. Can you kind of speak to, I guess, just like the gym and how rewarding it would be? I mean, obviously a lot of hard work and you gotta stay on top of it, but it seems like you're curating like a good communal, health minded kind of place out there.
Yes, definitely. The gym for me, it's been open 4 years coming up this year, and it's made me a better fighter, better boxer, just because since getting into coaching, obviously you're watching all the people, you're trying to coach them, you're looking at what they're doing wrong, you're telling them, so you constantly remind yourself you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this, get your hands up, and it's turned me into a better fighter and a better person. Obviously, coaching all these kids, getting them in off the streets, and just getting in with the community, and it's a small town, and seeing everyone getting together and giving good energy back. I just love helping people, so and it keeps me humbled as well. I get back to the gym and the kids are just giving me shit, and I love it. It's ace. It's a good atmosphere. In fact, I'm going to Birmingham tonight because I've got a lad fighting in a box cup tomorrow morning. So it just never stops. I come back and this is my lifestyle now. So every single day I just wake up, I'm in the gym boxing or I'm coaching. So I absolutely love it.
The passion comes through for sure. And I'd just love to see you, giving back. Like, I know you were saying the kids kind of give you stick sometimes, but I would think it would still be cool to like be training at a gym with someone who's like so accomplished in their given field, like just to serve the idea of like inspiring more and more people to kind of come out. So yeah, I just love those kind of pieces of martial arts. Like, even individuals who don't necessarily get out there to compete, it's like it can still be a massive, lifestyle piece and can inform just your life in general, regardless of what you're, I guess, endeavoring to do, like a good mindset kind of piece.
Yes, definitely. Again, it does keep me humbled because I come back and everyone just knows me as just Rico, and it don't go to my head, and obviously everyone just keeps me humbled back here, especially my wife and everyone. So that's what it's about, and just giving it back and just sharing everything I've got back to the younger generation, and yeah, it's just a great atmosphere. I love it, and that's the future for me now. That gym.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's going to be like the thing that like really can continue on in like a generational kind of way. Like, you can get to those 20 bare knuckle fights you were talking about before, and then more so focus on that thereafter. But I guess pivoting to like something like, I guess, divisionally relevant now and stuff like that, like that recent Julian Lane and Bryce Henry fight. Some controversy with like the takedown and the subsequent disqualification. What were your thoughts on that whole fight? It seemed like things got a little hectic towards the end.
Yeah, I tuned in the next day to watch it because obviously it's my weight division. Julian Lanes was ex-world champ. I've seen this Bryce. I think he's unbeaten now. And I just couldn't stop laughing. Julian Lane's taking him down. That made the fight interesting. It was funny. He's just a character. He just does it for entertainment. He's just Julian Lane's just a solid fighter. He'll fight any man, and he'll just turn up and give it everything. And that's what I like. He's a real fighter. He's been in the game a long time. He's been in this bare knuckle game just before me because he fought Jimmy Sweeney in a rematch, and that was my debut in Liverpool. And that was the first time. And obviously, Julian Lanes was like world level then. He was the ex UFC fighter. So he's been on that world level now, bare knuckle, for a long time. I think he's had 19 fights. So yeah, he's a legend in the game. He's a veteran. And obviously, this Bryce, I've seen this Bryce a few times. He's quite a technical boxer. I think he's up and down in weights as well. But yeah, yeah, interesting fights.
Yeah, I mean that is I appreciate you touting that. I feel like a lot of people who follow bare knuckle in more of like a BKFC centric kind of way don't really know like the full Julian Lane resume. Like obviously he's a former BKFC champion and they know those pieces. But yeah, the two Jimmy Sweeney fights that he had like really got him out there in a big way. I mean, Jimmy Sweeney, obviously a big name on the scene as we had kind of referenced before. So yeah, no, shout out to Julian Lane. He was kind of turning into like a bit of a game bred bare knuckle MMA vibe a little bit. I know you were saying before you wanted to do that, but it's like not quite the same rule set here in this particular instance, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. That I don't know if is Jolin done a bare knuckle MMA fight. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd definitely that's still on the cards to do. I'd love to get one of them done one day. Um, but yeah, he's a legend in the game. He's been around a long time, and them two fights with Jimmy, Jimmy's, he's been the best in the game for a long time. So it's just it's good to see it. Like people still going from back in the day on the old shows.
Yeah, and he's got a fight coming up on that BKFC Italy card, like the one that's headlined by Lorenzo Hunt vying for that new iron weight title. So yeah, Jimmy Sweeney's still putting in that work there.
Yeah, he's going again. I think this is his first fight. He's dropped down a weight as well, so yeah, it might work better for him. He's going to be, they're going to be a little bit quicker at that weight, but he looks in good shape. He's ready to go again. So I'll definitely be tuning into that. I'm not sure. I know he's got an Italian opponent, but I'm not sure who he's fighting. But I'll be definitely tuning in and hope he gets the win. He needs to get some good wins behind him, and he's getting on a bit now, so he's probably not got a lot of fights left in him. But yeah, he's still a solid fighter.
Yeah, no, for sure. Wholeheartedly agree. I guess like one of the last things I wanted to touch on, like has BKFC expressly communicated to you, like even like a general timeline of when you could maybe expect to have that title unification fight with Dustin Pague? Like I would think based on, how everything's kind of laid out, it could potentially be like a bit later on in the calendar year, but has the company expressed any particular timeline piece to when that title unification fight could happen at 165 pounds?
Is from David, very positive. We're going to work with each other. And he 100% said, I'll be fighting again this year. Obviously, there's no specific time yet. He's got a meeting with my manager Monday or Tuesday. And we should find out then. He's gonna set up a new contract, get me a deal, and then get me a fight sorted this year. So fingers crossed it's in the UK. I want it in the UK. I sell a lot of tickets here. It's getting bigger in the UK, especially with Darren Till on board now. So yeah, I'm back in the gym a week after the fight. I was training. I was back in the gym. I'm sparring. My coach Danny Mitchell's fighting again next week. So it's all positive vibes around here. I'm ready to go all the time, every day.
No, for sure. It definitely comes across and everything like that. And like I was saying before, in the spirit of wanting to be mindful of your time and busy schedule, man, I figured I'd give you the floor if you maybe did have a final parting thought you felt inclined to add as we're wrapping up on Bare Knuckle Bowker today. I really appreciate you coming on once again, Rico.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. I always love a good chat talking about future fights and, the whole bare knuckle game and scene. It keeps on growing and I absolutely love it. Can't wait to get back out there and yeah, I'm going to be world champion by this year, 100%. That is my goal. It's been a vision for a long time, ever since I won Jimmy Sweeney for a world title on the old promotion. This has been a big vision, even on my hospital bed. So yeah, it's 100% going to happen. Now I'm healthy. There's nothing stopping me. I feel like I've just been reborn. So we're ready to do the business. So I'm looking forward to hopefully fighting Dustin Pague. It'll be a pleasure. Great fighter, and yeah, I'll definitely get the win.
Well, yeah, that's another piece that I always find so impressive too, like the health issues you've been able to overcome, and you're doing incredible things at a world level. So, yeah, it's an incredible story. I know you wanted to get on Joe Rogan at one point to talk about that, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people wanting to tell the story and profile that. And I mean, a lot of people already have in a strong way, but I mean, what an incredible story of resilience, man. So, thank you for, yeah, giving me the time and insights ahead of this, or rather, I guess, in the wake of this latest chapter unfurling in the story. Looking forward to seeing what's next as far as when the unification fight happens. But until then, Rico, you have a good rest of your day, man. And thank you for the time once again.
I appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much. Top man.